and then we had an issue with my MacBook crashing, which kind of sucked. Hence why we're running a little bit late behind today. But as always, I'm going to be bringing you guys some really cool stuff, and we can run from there, which is always fun. I don't know why it's not showing up. But if you can see this, give me let me know that you can see the video live. At least that way we'll be able to get this thing running. Awesome source. And oh, perfect. I'll be able to see everything. Happy time. Cool. So today's episode is around by the way, the video on YouTube is going to be a higher quality res because I'm actually using Zoom for that. So hey Bogdan, good to see you here. Almost 15 minutes this time, so it's kind of crazy. So today's episode is all about character development, specifically how to develop your character around who you are and having a level of authenticity, but aligning to the most badass version of you. So they do this in NLP and in other neuralistic self-help communities, where what you do is you find the person that you want to be most like, and then you actually emulate their characteristics, so you step into their world. So I'll give you a perfect example for this would be a personal example for me when I was, oh my god, that's terrible. There was a fighter that I remember like years ago. He was a boxer, and he really had a very similar style to another boxer from Denmark, and he really liked his style. So what he did was that he actually studied this guy's ability and started looking at how he moved, and basically started to mentally visualize himself as this boxer, and emulating his exact style to his body, and then like toning it up, mixing it around, doing his own thing. In the end, this person had such a similar style to this other boxer, it was ridiculous, and he basically embodied it, but it was still true to who he was. And the same thing kind of goes on with your character development, with your marketplace. You want to see exactly what your audience wants to buy from you and how they actually respond. Are they the rebels without a cause that you want to lead? Are they the sweet and lovely innocent people that actually have the greatest heart ever? Are they the people that are a little bit like an asshole? Are they the misfits that speak to the other misfits? I mean, what is it that you want to persona, or what persona are you attracting? There's a universal tie-in through all your people. Like for me, I'm kind of lucky. I kind of attract, as far as I've seen, people that are on the spectrum of extroversion and introversion. So they're ambiverts, they kind of go in the middle. But realistically, what they're doing is they love good music, they love good food, they love marketing, they love picking up new skills, but most importantly, they are like quietly dominating their marketplaces, and it's like the best thing ever. Like these are the types of people I tend to attract in my world, which makes me happy. They're just really smart people, which is awesome sauce. Now, with that being said, however, the way that you actually develop, so I've not developed a character around this, I've just made it myself. The way that I would develop a character around this is I'd see who the most universally loved figure they want to be like would be, and then embody a lot of their truth into my actual abilities of who I was. So I'd give you an example would be if, for instance, perfect person that did this was Frank Kern years ago. He did this thing with Surfer Frank. So you had basically Frank Kern, who was Surfer Dude Frank, or the dude. And he was like, my guys, they just like to slack off. They don't want to slack off, but they want to be lazy. They want to sit by the beach. They want to like read books. They want to like chill out. They want to have this lifestyle. And Frank played this up like a lot. He was like, look at me, dude. I just chill out. I work online, and then I spend most of my day going around on my skateboard in La Jolla, California. I go down to this beach. I basically like go ahead and surf, and I'm the like worst surfer ever, but I still love the fact that I get to do this every day. So he put this persona out of how cool his life was and what he was doing. And then years later, of course, he reinvented himself, that actually worked with a different crowd, that actually had a different value system aligned. And he basically went to Business Frank, which, nothing wrong with it. Still great content, still great person, but just difference in who he was. Now, that being said, the thing that was really incredible about Frank and his character development is that you can actually see how he taught it. Chris McCombs actually talks about this as well, specifically on how he created a character to have his audience kind of aligned to him, being like, hey, this guy might be dangerous, but he's also safe and has our best interest at heart. So the way that you start developing this for yourself is quite simple. You start creating little areas of your persona, and you see what aligns with who you are. So, for instance, if you're loud and brash and whatever it is, look at other people that are loud and brash naturally. Conor McGregor comes to mind, and see how they basically elevated themselves to the level that they're at. If you don't want to go to that level where you're the shining light that everyone looks at, then look at the exact same stuff and then see how you can actually not open your mouth as loud, but specifically you can attract the right people to you without being too loud, just by being good at what you do. Michael Jordan comes to mind. Like, he was amazing because he just worked harder than everyone else. Like, legitimately, he had natural talent, but then he just put in the graft. Same with Kobe, may he rest in peace. I'm watching the Last Dance on Netflix, which I have to recommend. It's a brilliant show. It just details the last season of the Bulls and just gives you like an in-depth like background. It's incredible. Anyway, what I'm getting at is you can actually create those character developments. So you see exactly what it is that your audience loves, and then you can align to that. So for instance, if your audience are a huge anime crowd, like we love anime, find which characters they like from anime and start embodying those personas. Are you strong like Goku? Are you a little bit confident and cocky like Vegeta? Do you have Naruto's impatience? Do you have what's called Ichigo's hard-headedness? Do you have, like, name another character from another anime that is amazing? Do you have Alucard's incredible? Do you have Father Anderson's incredible love of like trying to be righteous and stuff and seeing how things works? Just think of different characters and how you have it, what you have that aligns to them, and bring those things into your persona, and then make correlations between them by saying, like, it's just like this time I woke up in the morning and I thought I can go for a run today, but I didn't feel like I was going to be like Goku. And like everyone in the crowd's going to be like, oh, we know who that is. We kind of like, it's your own little nerd speak. You kind of have that going back and forth between you. And that's the character development. So over time, you start building in where you come from. You start building in what you want. You start kind of like embracing that kind of view of your world and start giving people exactly what they feel like in a way that actually makes sense. And this is why it's quite powerful, because when you actually create stuff like this, it allows people to actually bond with you, see your development, and then cheer for you. And if you're like one of those people like, I don't know how I can step back and actually redevelop this character, it takes a weekend. Literally, take one weekend off. Take this weekend off. Sit down, write a journal it down. I'm taking this weekend off for other reasons, but like I'm not doing any tech for the weekend just because I want to see what would happen. So I'll be back on Monday. But specifically, like with that sense, you have that time to reinvent yourself. You can actually recreate a new storyline and actually kind of like start bringing that into life next week. You just give time to actually let people kind of like drop off for a second, and you come back with something incredible and you roar it back. But that's kind of like a very interesting way of going about it. But that being said, guys, today is a very short show. I'm not going to lie. There's just so much for me to do. But it's been a brilliant time having you guys here. I'm glad I got to spend time with you today. I look forward to seeing you on Monday. Have an amazing weekend. And if you haven't already done so, please click the link below. Head on over to thinklikeacopywriter.com and just subscribe. I'll be uploading more of these shows as they get released. Of course, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. If you're part of the challenge, see you at 4. If you're not part of the challenge, because it's live right now, after Wednesday 20th of May 2020, the challenge will be 100% accessible for you guys to go through at any time in your leisure. Right now, it's just because I'm doing it live and we're recording it. All right, peace out, take care, and I will speak to you guys real soon. Bye. Where's the button? There it is.